I averaged well over 10,000 steps this year, and here is how I did it. Welcome and thank you for being here. I'm Coach Mack, the founding health coach of Running with Bacon, where I help women feel like themselves again, one small step at a time. And if you are liking this video, if you think you're going to like this video, which I think you will, go ahead and like it, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell to be notified every time I release a new video so you don't miss a thing. First, let me say, I have no idea how many steps last year I actually averaged. The only thing I had tracking was my phone, and it's not with me all the time. So it says that I averaged 5,200 steps per day. Compare it to this year, it says I averaged 6,600 steps a day, which is not accurate because my Fitbit here says I was way over 10,000. And since this guy's with me almost 24/7, I'm going to believe it instead of my phone. Also, a little side note for you, I'm using the Fitbit Inspire 2. It is essentially their lowest tech version of the Fitbit, at least that's my understanding, and I completely wanted it that way. So I did not want an Apple Watch or Google Watch or any of those things. I didn't want text on my wrist. I didn't want to take phone calls on my wrist. I wanted it to just tell me how many steps I was taking. As a bonus, this does heart rate as well. And when I got it actually as a gift, it came with a free year of Fitbit Premium. So I've been exploring some of those features, but really going forward, I don't even think I'm going to use the premium. I just want to know how many steps I'm taking. That's what made it a great fit for me. So if you are interested in some low tech, I will put a link in the description box for you to find your own. Every year for about 5 years now, I have been challenging myself, and I've invited others to do it along with me, but I've been challenging myself to an annual challenge. I have done a 1 mile per day challenge. I have done reps challenges. I have tried to do a different exercise every single day of the year. I keep trying to come up with new ones. And so this year I decided I was going to do 10,000 steps per day. I had never had a pedometer or a fitness tracker or anything like that. So I wasn't quite sure what I was getting myself into, but here is how it started.
I am really pumped. I got a Fitbit for Christmas. So I had it in mind that I was going to do this year-long goal of trying to average 10,000 steps for all of 2022. And so my boyfriend got me a Fitbit so that I could actually track it and measure it appropriately. I'm going to start it off slow for the January challenge inside of my group coaching program called Fit by Bit. I'm actually going to do a step challenge, meaning you can pick the number of steps that you want to do. I am picking 7 as my minimum for every day in January. And I'm hoping that since it's really cold here, it snows a lot, it's gonna be icy, I'm hoping that that serves as just kind of my baseline of like get my butt in gear, start tracking my steps and things like that. And so this Fitbit, which I'm going to get all set up, I will keep you posted and let you know how that goes.
Well, needless to say, I crushed the 7,000 steps in January goal. And it's been an upward trend since then. You'll notice September was actually a down month, which is weird for me because I have my annual 100-mile month challenge inside of my coaching membership called Fit by Bit. And I challenge myself to run, walk, or ruck 100 miles in that month. Well, this year I got COVID 1 week into the month, and it took me a few weeks to recover my endurance and just my physical capacity and actually my mental desire to work out. So September was a down month for me. We also got a puppy around that time in September. And so I was still above the 10,000 steps. It was, like I said, a down month, but then it has continued its upward trajectory from there because, as you know, puppies are very energetic. Mine loves to go on walks now, and she comes running with me, and we're having a lot of fun. But so she is actually helping me reach my goal of getting my steps in. Before I continue, let me just explain what the deal is with 10,000 steps anyways. Like, where did it come from? What's this number? Is it backed by anything? And the answer actually is no. So a Japanese company made a pedometer and they named it, I don't even know how to say it, but it translates into 10,000 steps meter or 10,000 step meter. So basically tracking it was like a marketing thing for them of 10,000 steps, and their pedometer, you could track all your 10,000 steps. And for most people, it's about 5 miles per day, but there isn't any research that says, oh, if you get only 7,000, you lose out on these health benefits versus if you got 10,000. There's nothing that says that. So don't think that if you're way below 10,000 or way above 10,000. Like, don't think that 10,000 is the gold standard. It's just a number. And usually for most people, it's a pretty challenging number. Our society's, pretty sedentary. We don't move very much. So upping to 5 miles per day from a mostly sedentary life, that is a big deal. And you will notice health changes in a good way. There is a point of diminishing returns. I don't know what that is yet. I haven't gotten there. But at some point, you will run out of time in your day. You will run out of physical energy. You will run out of mental desire to do it. Your lifestyle, like if you have kids, if you have a significant other, if you have a job, you just won't be able to keep upping and upping and upping your steps. And I'm also sure at some point there is also physically diminishing returns for if you just try to keep upping your steps. So know that it is not the more steps you walk, the better it is. So just that little caveat around 10,000 steps. It is a nice round number, though. It feels good in our brains and our heads. 5 miles, 10,000 steps. It's just clean, nice for us type A OCD people. It's a beautiful number. Okay, back to 10,000 steps in a year and how I did it. So these are the 3 things that I noticed most changing, or that changed most when I was trying to get more steps in each day. The first one was I tried to sneak in little walks throughout my day, even little mini walks where I would go for a 5-minute walk outside between Zoom calls with clients. Or I started a lot of my days, I would call my mom and my aunt. We did a little group call for 10 minutes each morning. It's partly for me to get steps in, partly for them to just get moving. And it was something that I really came to enjoy, was sneaking these little walks in throughout the day. It was like little mini breaks for my mind. And I was able to get steps in while I did it. The second thing I did, and it pains me a little bit to say this, was that I sacrificed some of my Real Housewives watching. So my lunch hour, I still, because, being a business owner, but working from home, working for myself, it can be really easy to just kind of, say screw work. And I would be able to do that all the time if it was Real Housewives on all the time like that. But so I set a lunch hour for myself. And during that lunch hour, I can make and eat lunch here at home. And then I can also watch a full episode of DVR'd Real Housewives because it condenses down to like 40-ish minutes. And so instead, though, I would eat my lunch. And then when I was actually done eating, instead of watching the rest of the episode, I would turn it off and I would go outside for a lunch walk. I would find myself sometimes even walking like 2 miles on my lunch walk, just because it would be so nice outside. It was such a break from being inside. I know working from home is great, but sometimes like I can go a week without leaving my house. So sometimes it's nice to just get outside and enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the weather. And it really feels like I'm getting away from work for a little bit. And the third thing I did, I walked like a crazy person, even inside. I feel so goofy saying that and even admitting this, but I have now done thousands and thousands and thousands of circles around our condo, both upstairs and downstairs. So on days when it was raining, I would do that 10-minute phone call with my aunt and my mom. I would do it inside and I would just walk circles around our downstairs. There were times when I was brushing my teeth before bed and I would look down and I would notice that I would have 400 more steps to go. And I'm like, shoot, I can't go to bed if I only have 400 more steps. So I'd be brushing my teeth and doing laps around our upstairs. Like I have it to the upstairs. It takes about 55 steps for me to circle like the guest bedroom and then back into our bedroom and do like a racetrack loop. 55 steps. And so I knew exactly how many loops then that I had to do in order to get my steps in. And so I have walked around our condo every inch, every milli-inch of it. That's not a word, but I have walked it all and thousands of times now. So that is something I actually didn't foresee myself doing, but it just kind of makes sense that I did it. You got to make it work. And it was basically, as soon as I was committed, I was committed. I was doing it. I was in it full go. So those were the 3 things that I noticed most that changed when I committed to doing my 10,000 steps. And you'll notice I said the word committed because it's a commitment. And there's this change, this mental shift that happens when you make something a non-negotiable. Think about going to work each morning. you just go. It's a given in your day that you go. Like, sure, you could call in sick, and yeah, there's probably a million things you would rather be doing, but you go to work anyways. You show up, you do work, you do the thing. Come on. Same thing can be said about like feeding your kids. You may not want to cook that day, but you know, it's like, it's a non-negotiable to feed your kids. It's a given that you're going to feed them hopefully multiple times throughout the day, every single day. You just know you're going to do it. So all of the decision making around, oh, do I want to do it? I'm not really motivated to do it. I don't want to. I could do this. It all goes away when you commit to it and make it a non-negotiable. And that's what happened with my 10,000 steps. I just knew I had to do it every day. And this was a goal I wanted to do. So I say had to do as in if I want to get to my goal. And sure, there were days that I missed. I didn't get 10,000 steps, of course. But every single day, I looked for ways or opportunities to get in more steps. Like even on travel days at the airport, instead of sitting in a chair, I would go walk the airport to get in more steps, things like that. So every single day, even on days when I didn't hit 10,000, I still got in more steps than I would have if I wasn't doing the 10,000 steps a day challenge. Overall, I will absolutely keep doing some of those things going forward. Probably not the brushing my teeth, walking around thing. I probably won't keep doing that, but I will continue to find ways to move more throughout my day because of this. By the end of the challenge, it became more of a get to, like I get to go on more lunch walks. I get to get outside more versus I have to. I didn't ever dread having to get in more steps. It became something that was really enjoyable to me. So I will likely continue it even when it's not my challenge for next year. And speaking of next year, I need to find a new challenge ASAP. So if you have ideas, leave me a comment of something, either a challenge you've done, you've heard of, or something that you think would be fun for me to do. I would love to accept the challenge. I need to decide fast though. So I need comments, I need suggestions, I need ideas. Put them in the comments, email me, contact me, however, find me on social. All of that is in the description box below. I cannot wait to announce what it is. Again, I still need to decide. So yeah, I'm a little bit nervous because once I pick, then it's final and I got to do it. But thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I wish you nothing but good health in the new year. Happy New Year, my friend.